I first started getting into these kinds of issues about 15 years ago because the financial crisis of 2008 happened and I was a young dad and I had my first mortgage.
Yeah.
And I suddenly, for the first time in my life, was thinking about interest rates, which
Yeah.
no one had told me about or talked about. It wasn't a thing that you encountered in your education. We're now to a place where interest rates have gone up, but in the bigger sweep of recent American history, they're still pretty low. They're lower than my parents had to pay with their first house, which was like interest rates are 20%. How do you think about sort of that landscape, the landscape for interest rates and home ownership?
Well, I'm kind of on the all coins have three sides: heads, tails, and the edge. So you have Republicans, Democrat, but I stand on the edge, look at both sides. And you have right and left and all this stuff. So when I look at money, you have to see what's invisible. You have to see the other side. And so when the 2008 market hit, like I said, money was dead. What the banks were doing was they were borrowing money and then packaging debt as an asset so they could borrow more money. They're called derivatives. And the average American, since they're financially illiterate, they don't speak the language of money. When I speak a derivative, that's like if you get an orange, you cut it, you squeeze it. The orange juice is a derivative of the orange. So what a derivative is in 2008 was a derivative of debt made into bigger debt.
Right.
So the debt accelerated. So Warren Buffett is called derivatives, weapons of mass financial destruction. So I'm sitting there like this, watching it. 2008 comes, it blew. I went, thank you, God. Thank you. Because when you see the other side, I got more, I made more money in the crash than I did when it was going up. So the average person, because they don't have financial literacy, definition of words, and they're taught to just work for money, they don't see the other side. They cannot see what they cannot see. So when the markets crashed in 2008, I borrowed $300 million.
You borrowed 300 million. Now,
And I bought the best real estate in the world for pennies on a dollar